Africa, you're up really, really late, or in Africa. But welcome to all of you. This is a live broadcast. This is happening right now. We're watching two young male lions who have been resting up for most of the afternoon. And it looks like they're showing some interest in some wildebeest. Now, I can't actually tell you if they're wildebeest. The only reason why I'm guessing is because I can hear them making quite a bit of noise. And like I said, this is live. It's happening from Kenya in the Mara Triangle. So if you'd like to ask me any questions, you are absolutely more than welcome to. You can just comment away. Now, there are so many wildebeest around, and they actually surprised me. They got up and started moving in a direction. I thought they were heading to no man's land. I didn't see one glitter from the eye shine of any animals in the distance, but it seems as though I was wrong. They were using their hearing, which is probably the best sense of lions, and they headed in this direction. Isn't this amazing? Okay, let's see what these boys are going to do. They're leopard crawling. Lions can leopard crawl too, of course, getting right down low. And they're using these drainage lines as cover, which is very exciting. Now, I have to tell you, we're very, very lucky to be out here. Nobody else in the Mara Triangle has got night permits, so it's just myself and Scott out driving around, looking for lions, looking for leopards, looking for hyenas, looking for anything interesting out here tonight. Like I said, this is live. It's happening right now. So send me through any questions you have, and I look forward to having a chat with you. Now, these are young boys. They're going to be on the inexperienced side, so every chance that they do sort of make an attempt, it'll be a good learning curve for them. There's another lion calling in the distance now. It's very far away. It sounds like a whole pride of lions. Now, the reason why they stopped what they were doing and focusing on the wildebeest is because these young boys they're so young. They, unfortunately, do not hold any territories. They're very young still, so they've got to be careful where they go. They have to move in between everybody else's territories. Now, Paula, you're wondering if they've caught anything since we last saw them? No, Paula, no, actually not. So we did have them earlier on, probably about 2 or 3 hours ago. There was more of them. There was these two boys. It was an older male and a young lioness. And if you had tuned into one of our Facebook lives, you would have seen that lioness was stalking, and she got quite close to some wildebeest. But unfortunately, the rain came down. We had to pack it up. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if they were successful or not. The 3 boys were sort of lagging at the back. I don't think they would have contributed to her hunting. So they seem to have separated for now, which is also not uncommon. It seems as though the prides of lions in this area do tend to split up quite a bit. Now, they're being very patient. They're just waiting. I'm not going to take my spotlight out to see how close the wildebeest are. I suspect they're not too far because we can hear their calls. Their calls are getting louder and louder. Like I said, there's 2. It's not just this one. I don't know where the other boy has gone. He's walking in the long grass in the middle. You can hear those wildebeest now. Now, Rishi and Megan, you're saying, isn't it dangerous for me to be out here in the middle of the night? No, don't worry about us. Myself and Craig, we're good and happy. We're fine. We're in the cars, so we're not on foot or anything like that. And the animals in this area are habituated to the vehicles. So it doesn't mean that they're tame. They're completely 100% wild. And if they don't stalk these wildebeest and catch them, they're not going to have any dinner at all. So because they're completely wild, we don't feed them, we don't intervene at all. And that's what's so nice with these cameras that we have that have got very strong infrared lights. We're able to sit in complete darkness. I was telling you all a little bit earlier, but now it's very, very late. I can't see anything around me. The cloud cover is thick. Luckily, they have lifted, though, and it doesn't look like there's much more rain on the way. But we're fine. We'll be okay. Now, Bree, you've said that you can't see the eye shine of any prey. I promise you they're there. I've actually got a little thermal camera that's attached to the side of the car, and I'm using that at the moment to stare into the distance so I can also see what's going on, and I can see lots and lots of heat signatures. Thousands, absolute thousands of heat signatures, in fact. So if you look very carefully on your screen, you might be able to see there's some small little shrubs And there's Craig, can you go into that little shrub that's in the middle of the screen now, just off center? Yes, yeah, that one. I think that's a little shrub there. I think the wildebeest are just behind that. Maybe another, I don't know how far. It's a bit difficult to say. Like I said, it's completely dark. Well, there we go. You can see the wildebeest. If you look very, very carefully, you can actually see tiny little black dots on your screen. They're not far. That lion is maybe just less than 100 meters away, maybe even a bit closer. It's pitch black out here. So he can get there quite quickly. Now, Shirley, all the way from Canada, great to have you with us this evening. You're wondering, how hungry is this lion? I'm not sure how hungry he is. He doesn't have a big bulging belly, though, so he could do with a meal. That's a zebra making that noise. They're all on high alert at the moment. So he's definitely hungry. Him and his brother, I suspect that they might not be blood brothers. They look fairly similar of age, but they could be from the same pride. Now, Angie, you're wondering what sounds can I hear in the dead of the night? Well, I'm going to sit quietly then just for a couple of seconds and we'll chat about what's in the distance. Straight away, you can hear those wildebeest. That's the most prominent sound at night in this particular area. They don't stop chatting between one another. And then you might hear a soft tut, 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 tut. That's a montane nightjar, which is one of the nocturnal species of birds out here. And I don't know how these lions do it. It's incredible how they can put all the other sounds of the insects, of the birds, and of course of the wildebeest, but they're going after the wildebeest, how they put those other sounds behind them and focus in on one thing. It's pretty amazing, don't you think? Now, they're not going to race off anyway. I was saying this earlier, because they're young and inexperienced, they need to make sure that they do this right, and they do this right the first time. But again, unfortunately, lions are not the greatest hunters. It can take them 3 or 4 attempts before they're even successful. But their chances are good. There's an abundance of game around at the moment, which makes it a little bit easier for them. I'm going to take my spotlight out now. I'm not going to shine on the one in front of us. I want to try and figure out where this other male has gone. I apologize. My voice seems to be disappearing all of a sudden. Where is he? I can't even see the other male. He's hiding away. I'm going to see if I can pick him up on the thermal camera. I can't even pick him up. I just see all the zebra and all the wildebeest. So I wonder where he's gone. That's so interesting. Let me go up a little bit further. I'm going to sneak closer now. You can see we're quite a distance away. I'm going to drive with my lights. Let's go. Now, Geeky Beth, you're wondering if these 2 boys have been kicked out of the pride and they're on their own. I'm not exactly sure of the dynamics of this particular pride, of the one that we've been seeing. The 2 younger males, this one and his coalition member, which is he's somewhere in the golden grass. And there's an older male and a young lioness of similar age to these 2 young boys that are hanging around at the moment. I don't know what the dynamics are. See, I don't even think the older boy is dominant, because he wouldn't tolerate these youngsters. There's quite an age gap between them. But again, maybe he's still young enough and they're going to form a coalition. And I have seen it before. I'm going to go up a little bit further, where males have left and one female has followed. Sometimes these prides get too big. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and we'll just sit and we'll watch them again. So sometimes these prides get too big and it's not uncommon for them to sort of split up and form sort of smaller prides. Now, Roshi, you've said that the lions and the leopards are very, very patient when hunting. You could spot on. It's important. You can imagine if these lions got up and ran around like absolute hooligans, they would spend all the valuable energy that they need in order to hunt. They can't afford to do that. Remember, lions have to sleep 18 to 20 hours a day. It's important that they rest and relax, and from there use it very, very carefully. Now, Francis, you've said, do I think that these lions are waiting for the wildebeest to come closer. Well, as I pulled my spotlight out, Francis, I had a quick scan to see if I could see that other male. And I think that's why he's looking off to the right constantly. You see that? Let me just bring it around again. He's constantly checking. What, the wildebeest, they're stampeding on the right? Right, Craig? I don't know if we'll see them, the animals. You can see the eyes moving. Somebody's in there. Somebody's given them a fright. I think if we go a little bit more to the right, they came racing on from the rear. They're unhappy about something. Because it's dark, because I can't see very well, they're lucky now. The wind has died down, so the wildebeest and the zebra have got a chance tonight. It's not easy. It's always a tough one. Is the predator going to get the better of the prey, or the prey going to get away? Francis, you said that they're getting closer. They are indeed. That's my little thermal camera that you can see there that you just passed. I can't see that other male lion. I don't know where he's gone. He must be in there somewhere. He has to be. Now, I've seen a technique like this used quite often by lions. It's not an uncommon one, where one will sneak off in the middle and just sit and wait in the grass. And then another lion will actually get up. And all it has to do is stand up and show itself. And that is enough to cause a stampede. And they'll run in the opposite direction of where the lion is that showed itself. And I think that's maybe what they're doing here tonight, is perhaps that's the plan. And the male that's hiding in the long golden grass will just leap up as he has wildebeest stampeding past him. Now, earlier we were discussing about whether lions can die from a stampede, and that's 100% true. Now, Deb, you're wondering whereabouts in the Mara am I? Well, we're in the Mara Triangle at the moment, and we're actually not too far away from a camp called Angama, Mara. We must only be about 8 or 9 kilometers away as the crow flies down in the basin, and it's absolutely stunning here. I cannot tell you how wild the wildlife is. It really and truly is a spectacular scene, this great migration. And this is the first time that I've ever seen it before. So you can imagine I'm sitting on the edge of my chair constantly. Now, Jason, good eye there. You've noticed that this lion is using this drainage system, and he's hiding behind it. He's a very clever lion for doing that, because even though there is lots of grass around him, if he tries to go over the top of that, he's going to have to creep and try and stay as low to the ground as possible, because they'll spot him. Remember, the zebra around. Don't do that. Be careful. Taking a bit of a gamble there. That's a very risky move, because the clouds have also let up slightly. It's a little bit lighter out here. Not that I can see very well, but of course the cat's eyes is unbelievable. Look, there's a zebra not too far away. You've actually got them both in. There they are. I don't think they know that he's there just yet. They might have also just trotted off and started, well, not trotting, they were moving a little bit quicker than trotting. They may have just cantered off earlier because they were suspicious. I'm sure these animals can sense that something's going on. Kayleen, you're wondering how old is a male lion when they start getting their mane? Well, when they get to about a year old, you can sort of see just underneath their chin and the equivalent of their chest, the hair is sort of longer and thicker. So it starts right from a young age. Look, there's that little cockroach on the grass there. That's quite funny. An insect of some sort hanging on. Luckily, lions don't eat them. Otherwise, it would be in trouble. And then as they start to get older, it obviously gets fluffier and fluffier. I don't know how old, I'm still tossing and turning about how old these boys are. Their behavior, the way they were running down the road and sort of playing with each other, just says to me that they're still young and they've got that playful spirit. So I'm going to stand and say that I think that they're about between 3 and 3.5 years old. I've now, now also just pulled my thermal camera. I've spotted the other male. He's coming this way. He's actually walking around. You can see that's why that male on the left is sitting up. You're going to go back to greet your brother. Let's see what they're going to do. Just because they're walking back together doesn't mean that they're not going to hunt. Just remember that somebody could get a fright and come racing towards them, and they're going to take that opportunity, but perhaps they're going to regroup and try something else. Very, very quiet out in the bush. Even the wildebeest is stopping to call. You can hear the zebra bleating about as well. Staring straight at his brother. It's amazing that he can see them from that distance. Now, Roshni, you're saying, what about the breeze, and would it be an advantage for the predators? Most certainly, they had a better opportunity much earlier today when the wind was howling as it was bringing in the rain. It has died down quite a bit now. And the breeze, unfortunately, is not strong enough. But that's okay. They've still got the cover of darkness and the long grass, and they're really good at stalking. They don't also have really big manes to expose themselves. But again, it's dark, so that wouldn't really matter too much. I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to sit with these boys. It seems as though they're settling down for a little bit, and hopefully once they get up and start moving again, they'll have a better chance. They're probably going to come and discuss. Oh, hang on, let's watch this. Okay, he's stalking, so his brother must be approaching. Just show you how playful they still are. You boys aren't being serious, are you? No, hello, yes. Look at that, such social animals. Let's see. Let's see. Are you going to move straight towards him? Remember, the zebra are not too far away. If they do sit down over here, we might say goodbye. Let's give it a couple of minutes. This could change again. You can see how distracted they get, though. They are like young children. They're focused for a minute, and then there's always time to play. Now they're going to give their presents away. With all the noise that they're making, bouncing about on the floor, those zebra and those wildebeest are going to know they're there. But that's okay. There are so many other wildebeest and zebra around. They could move off. You can see, look how healthy they are. They're not starving. They're definitely not starving, that's for sure. Scraping his feet, spraying his urine. All right, we're going to stay with these boys for the rest of the night, so keep an eye out. We'll definitely do some more Facebook Lives when they get on the go again. Until then, for myself and Craig, it's been wonderful, and we'll see you all soon.